what would be nice is if I made a guide. I'm gonna try putting a guide on here. This is unplugged. See how far this guard is from the blade edge? Guard an inch and a little over 3/8. So I can't do it there. I need to do it over here. Get a clamp. Use a little scrap piece of wood so you don't mar up the surface. Inch. 3/8. Okay, let's see how this guard works. Not smash my foot when I fell.
Good. You're wearing your safety shoes.
I'm using an aluminum angle for my fence this time. Straighter. More sturdy. Ready?
How am I holding this so it doesn't mess up?
Just hold it.
Can I put pressure upward a little bit?
Just hold it like you're carrying it so it doesn't fall. The jigsaw, and then we're ready to install. There it is. Good fit. Pretty good fit. If there's any little seams at all, it'll get covered up with the trim and the backsplash. That's good overhang. Just as we planned. A little bit on this side, about a 1/4 inch in the front. This is where making sure everything is square before you drill things in really pays off in the end. This morning I had to come and adjust this backsplash here because last night when I drilled it in, for some reason I was off by like 1 inch. I had to slide everything back here. It looks like it still may be a little bit high here. That's why you can see there's a high point right here, but I suspect it's actually this bore warping slightly this way. But I'm not gonna worry about it because the tile, we'll caulk it and then we'll put this really thin tile over the front using this as the backing, and that'll all go away. We'll put a little piece of trim over here too. So looking good. I like it. Now we got to cut a hole right here for our stove and sink combo. And then we can fasten it in. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, it's not too small, so that's good.
Not too big.
It has a little bit of play, but once you clamp down from the bottom, this will be good. Flush countertop. Ooh! Glass top, sink and stove. Sweet, looks awesome. All right, so we'll seal it. We'll drop it in, and then we'll clamp down the bottom. Or do you want to do polyacrylic?
Yeah.
On the exposed
probably
wood edges?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's do that first. last 4 days, I want to give you guys a little rundown of our electrical consumption. By the way, I want to say the solar is working really well. We had an average consumption, daily consumption, about 780 watt hours of power. In the last 4 days, we have no way to plug in, and we don't charge from the alternator. So everything we use, everything we put back into the batteries is just the self-contained electrical system, and it gets charged only from solar. So we have 350 watts of solar, 225 amp hours of 12 volt battery capacity. So at a 225 amp hour capacity, we have about 110 usable amp hours because they're AGM, traditional lead acid batteries. That is about half of our capacity that we've been using for the last 4 days. And that's been really good. And I would say over the last 4 days that we've been sort of testing this out, we didn't have full sun all day every day. Most days we were either in partial shade or it was overcast. Today is actually full sun, no clouds at all in the sky, and maybe yesterday, for a good part of yesterday, we had that. But the 3 days before that, we had a combination of conditions. But on the average, I would say we were in bulk charge mode for about 7 to 8 hours a day. And we got fully charged every day by about, I would say, between 8 to 12 hours after the sun comes up, we were fully charged. So this time of year, the sun comes up at about 6 o'clock, sometime around then. By 2 o'clock, between 2 to 4 o'clock, we had gotten fully charged every day. Some days much sooner. Like the fastest we got fully charged was yesterday, which we were fully charged by within 8 hours. So by the time the sun came up, 8 hours later, we were fully charged. And of course, these are lead acids. There's a long absorption charge period. So by the time the bulk charge was done and went into absorption, that only took 6 hours. So by noon, most days, we had gone past the bulk charge phase and gone into absorption charge. So by the time you get to bulk, you're at pretty close to right around 90% charge. So I'm not even that concerned going beyond totally from bulk to absorption to float. If I get past the bulk charge phase, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But like I said, we only used about half the capacity of our battery bank in these 4 days. So we're good. And I know that because I'm using my Victron Connect battery monitor via Bluetooth, and it tells me a diagram of the last 30 days. In fact, today, since we didn't sleep in there last night, today it only took us less than 3 hours to go from bulk to absorption, and absorption only took an hour. So it's 11:20 right now. I've been fully charged for the last hour and a half already. So I would say that our electrical system is more than adequate for us, and I'm happy about how it's performed the last 4 days. So today we're gonna go work on putting shelving in the cabinets. One of the things we figured out that we wanted to do after being in here for 4 days is raise the fridge up. And I'll show you what it's currently like right now. This is our water situation. We're gonna have 4 of these tanks. So we have 4 of these tanks in here. That one in the far right is gonna be the waste, and we've got it plumbed in now. We're using this kind of flexible bilge pipe, which kind of forms a natural trap just by having it a certain length. And then it's all connected, going down, and then there's a vent cap over there, so we can store 7 gallons of gray. And then we'll obviously have 3 other tanks, and those are gonna be our fresh tanks that will cycle out. And we just have to keep in mind that every time we switch fresh water, we have to empty the gray. And that way it will never overfill, unless there's some other liquids going down. But the way that I got this constructed, we did this kind of on the road at Lowe's, is I had to use some combination of pipes. We got the connector. Actually didn't come with a connector, surprisingly, from an RV supply shop, which is made for this. It goes into several connectors, so that I can get this fitted, and it's all glued up using PVC and ABS cement. And then here, what I'm using here is one of those like fill hoses, like that you screw on at the end of a garden hose to fill a water tank. And that screws in here with another connector. And what I like about using this is that there's a valve here that I can close and open. So if I ever overfill this and there's water in here, I can just close that, so when I pull this out, I won't have all this water come draining out. So that's a little fail-safe in case we put too much liquid down the drain and there's no way to carry that. So we're gonna put a shelf in here so that this can still come in and out. And I think we'll put 2 shelves in here, or 2 layers, so we'll have a total of 3 layers of storage. And here's the fridge. I think what we realized that we want this higher. Initially, we kept it low because we didn't want to kind of obstruct this whole kind of openness. But what we decided was that by not having storage underneath, which we would put our toilet and Yoda's litter box down there, by not having that there, we have to put it directly under our bed by the opening, and by doing that, it makes it really difficult to get to the things that are in there behind the litter box and the toilet. So that was something that we had to kind of be in here and spend some time to figure out. So we figured that out, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll have to build this up a little bit, enough to fit probably 16 inches. So they'll be about this high. I think it'll be okay. It'll obstruct the view a little bit, and it will close up this open space that we can go in and out of our bed, but that's okay. As you can see, the back door opens all the way, and we'll still have plenty of openness back there, which is where our heads are anyways. And by the way, the 3 nights that we spent in here were awesome. We slept great. There's plenty of space from our face to the top of, you know, each platform, so we didn't feel claustrophobic at all. Those windows work great. We're able to crack them, run one of these fans to either suck in air or blow air out, to draw air in either through or vent air out through those holes. Most nights what we did is we had air on the lowest setting sucking out this way, so that we could have circulation of air coming through just a little cracked window by our beds. That way we have fresh air coming in from the outside. So that worked out perfectly. I'm really happy with that. There's a few other things we're gonna do, but I think that's all I'm gonna be able to bite off today, and hopefully get to the shelves, finish the shelves, and build a cabinet for this. So, all right, let's get to it. It's a mess in here, but we got a new fridge cabinet. Actually, this is more like the toilet cabinet.
Toilet,
It's
fridge.
the poop cabinet.
Yeah. Food and poop.
Because it's gonna be our toilet and Yoda's litter box that's gonna go in here. And we decided that this was necessary to free up space underneath, even though it will take up some openness. But after using it for 3 nights, it was really nice if we had more storage over here. So that's what we decided to do, and this is what we made. We made a box basically that goes on over this footprint, which we had done at the very beginning. This was actually our original plan at the very beginning, and you know, during the last part of our build last week, we kind of abandoned it, really for the sake of simplicity, and just wanted to get it done, really. And then we knew that if we built it and we didn't like it, we couldn't go back, so we gave it a shot. And then, you know, I think it's better that we now know for sure we want it. So this could be, we could detach the fridge theoretically.
Yeah.
And this could become a seat. So that's kind of cool. And when the fridge is here, it'll be higher so we can kind of access it easier. So I think that's nice. So the only thing we got to do now, this is just the top. That's what the inside looks like. It's put together right now with L brackets and screws and pocket screws. I'm going to put the top on, and I'm going to basically use pocket screws to attach the top as well. I've got all the pocket holes drilled all the way around, except for here because this lip is a little small for a pocket screw, so we won't have any screws here, but I will put glue here just so it goes in nice and securely. This will be it for today. We didn't get to the shelves, which we'll get to tomorrow. And once the shelves are in, and I'll also work on the water pump, even though we don't have our faucet yet.
We need to work on our propane jug.
Our propane tank comes tomorrow. We're doing a 11 pound propane bottle.
Yeah.
All right, let's put this together and then we'll give it another look with the fridge on it.
Okay.
The top is on for the new box that houses the litter box and the toilet. That also serves as the stand for the fridge. That is now complete. I've got the fridge mounted on there, strapped down. I'm using the same thing, same little straps that I put underneath as to screw through to the bottom. I'm feeding this through a little slot that I cut. And it goes all the way down, and then it straps it up or strap it down. And here's how it looks on the inside. This is actually really nice to have another sort of counter height-ish platform. We can actually make this into like a computer workstation, to tell you the truth. And looking into the fridge, the freezer, getting things out of there, it's going to be really handy, really easy. We'll have something to be able to put some artwork over here, just like we can over here. And it doesn't feel too crowded, actually. It's obviously a little bit worse than before, but we still have this kind of airspace to go through. Now the kids can step on this to get up on the bed, whereas before they were stepping on the fridge, which worried me a little. And then down below, the toilet fits perfectly. We've got an opening cut, and then there's a little space that Yoda could crawl through to get to her litter box. And to get her litter box out, we'll have to take the toilet out to take her litter box out, which is okay. Alternatively, we could cut a cat hole for her right there. I don't know if that'll be necessary. We'll see how she likes it. If she's willing to use it like that, then we'll leave it like that. But yeah, this is great because this frees up a lot of space down there for us for storage, which was the goal for this contraption. So I'm happy with how it turned out. It's really solid. And tomorrow we'll get on the rest of our projects, which will be shelving, possibly cabinet doors, water pump. We get our propane tank tomorrow, so let's fabricate or build a wooden sealed propane box somehow. And that should be the items that we want to get done. We didn't think this would take a full day. We thought we'd get to this and the shelving. Theoretically, we still could, because the shelving won't take very long, but
that's what you say, and that's the problem with everything.
I know. It's
just going to take one afternoon.
It's just, you could do it the easy way, or you can do it the right way. So,
and they're never the same.
To do this the right way, to do this cabinet box storage thing the right way, had to be done like this today. But it looks nice. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you're not, feel free to subscribe. And if you are, keep it there. Keep it subscribed, right?
Yeah.
We're going to bring a lot more content. Once this van is all built out, we'll be back on just traveling mode again, and then we'll be able to put out content of us using the van and going traveling, going to places, full-time living once again. And I'm really looking forward to that. So by then you'll be able to see how this setup actually works for us on a practical standpoint.
It'll work perfectly.
It's gonna work perfectly
Better.
until we have a better idea. It is a 30-day build within a budget. I don't even know what our budget is at this point. I know it's over 5,000. By how much, I don't know. I don't think it's a ton more.
Yeah.
I have a list that I've been somewhat trying to keep up down there in the links below, mollymish.com/vanbuild. What's missing there right now is a whole lot of Lowe's and Home Depot bills. So I think that adds up to probably several hundred, if not close to $1,000 worth of it. Once we get all caught up, we'll get all that stuff up to date eventually, and then we'll even, you know, maybe do a thorough summary of things that we've done and things that we wish that we would have done differently, or things that we think we may have screwed up on. There's definitely all of the above, so we have a little bit of everything. So tomorrow we'll back at it. I'll see you guys then.
Oh. What do we do today? We built
Fridge stand / toilet box. Poop box.
So
Do we get to cross out? Do we get to cross